Okay, this is practice number 9. This part is not too bad. It's got a couple cylinders, basically just your outer cylinder started with a cut. You have to use well, you can do it with other features, but we usually just do an extrude here, then uh, pattern that, or you can create all these and pattern them together. But anyways, I created these to pattern, dropped a cylinder in here or cut out, dropped a rib in here and I adjusted it to the right values here. And then it's a cutout and some blends on all this stuff to get it to come out to the right size. So it takes a little time if you to study all these values in here because it's kind of from view to view. But anyways, it's not too awful bad in IronCAD. So let's go ahead and build this over out of the way. So now let's go ahead and build this for us. So I'm going to start again. This is in the inch units here. So if we it's not on my screen, it's in inches here. So we'll start with this. The outside diameter of this shape is, I believe, I looks at 2.75 inside of there, and the height of this thing is sitting at 0.125 inside of there. Next, you can go ahead and drop your cut, and this one actually is uh, a 2-inch cut on that. So we just drop our cut there. Next, we're going to do an extrude on this shape. So just drop an extrude on this shape. We'll do a sketch on here. So it doesn't really matter where this sketch is, but if you want to put it in the center, make sure your center point's there. You can put your origin point there if you like and place that there. Now, then we're going to screw it up. So this is extrude here. So the easiest way to do this, you can draw a center line if you like. Is one way to do it, or multiple ways. But anyways, you can do an offset of these things. So a center line is one offset, and this is the easiest way to do actually is just draw a curve. So I just drew a 2-point curve down here. So I just draw it down essentially how far it needs to go. We're going to do a bidirectional extrude, and this is supposed to be a 5, I believe here, 5 units, or not 5, 0.5 value there. So that's a 0.5. Select that. There we go. That's the total. I think the offset distance is 5. So we actually want to make that half of that. So 0.25. That will give us our total distance of 5 inside of there. So now we've got that. We can then just project our arc here and then our circle. Then we can just offset that. And that thickness for that guy, I believe, is 0.125 inside of there. So you can offset that. We don't need bidirectional in this case. We just wanted that. And that's the curve we want. And now we can just do a series of trims to get rid of all this extra geometry. And we don't need that. So that overall distance here, just to verify that I did that right, should be 0.5, or 0.5 inside there. So that's our shape that we want to create. And we're going to set that, and it's going to extrude up. And this distance is actually, the total height of this thing is 2. But then we got to minus the thickness of the bottom, which is 0.25. So it's, we can see that inside of here. Let's see if that actually calculated. If not, we can, 0.1875 or 0.875 is that value there. So we've got that set there. And these blends here on the top in the drawing are set to 0.5 on that. So we can just go ahead and put both of those on there, hit OK. Now, if you want to, this time I went ahead and did it myself. I went ahead and patterned this. And this is going to be a circular pattern. You can select this as your axis, select this feature, select that blend, and we're going to create 4 of those equally out there. So you've got our starting point here. Next thing I did is I actually dropped a cylinder in here. So to do this, I dropped a cylinder, holding the shift key down, select the edge, and placed in there. So this is the inner piece, which has a sleeve diameter of 0.75 inside of there. And that gave you some values for this sleeve. So this sleeve from the bottom of this thing is 0.625. So let's pull this up, do an edit distance from point. On our bottom here, this is going to be a distance of 0.625 from the bottom there. And the top is going to be an edited distance from point here. They've got that setting at 1.625. Instead of giving us the height of that thing, you just had to have two dimensions to get that. Next, there's a through cylinder inside of here. So this through cylinder, if you pull it all the way through, the diameter of that thing is, I believe, 0.5 in there. So that gives us our basis of our shape. Next, I used, if you scroll down here, we have a rib feature that you can drop out here. So, I just kind of dropped it in the center of this piece, and to see where it's at here. So I just turn on my tri-ball inside of here, and I can rotate this around. Let's like I said, it's a -90. There we go. And then I could essentially snap this down to the bottom, snap this over here to our part. And I'm just pulling it into the part somewhere. So it doesn't have to really be anywhere specific there. And I'm just going to pull this down because we're going to adjust this shape. So if we go ahead and edit the cross, well, before you do that, you can go ahead and set the diameter of this thing. And it already is set up symmetrically. So the value of that thickness is 0.125 inside of there. So that's our rib location where we want it to start off. It should be flat, flush on the bottom there. Anyways, we're going to go in here and edit the cross section inside of this thing. And what we need to do is actually draw a 2-point line here, a couple of them. So we're going to draw one down that is going to be our offset distance of 0.125 from the top of that fin. And then we're going to draw another one, another curve down here. And that's just, there we go, to our point. And we can basically, you can see all these things here where you can just disconnect this, move that up. There we go. So we're just going to adjust this. So this is where our curve has to come through inside of here. And just snap this back over here if you like. There we go. So that's got our geometry. This is our 0.125 offset inside of here. So I'm going to lock this down for the time being, because what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a constraint on this. So I'm going to also lock this position and lock that. So what I'm going to do is put a smart dimension from here to here, because this is going to define our angle, which is 35 inside of here. Okay, so that defines our shape. It has to go through there at a 35 to that location. Now I want to pull this in a little bit. So I'm going to show you this. If you unlock this position here, we can unlock that. Now to pull this in, if you just drag this in, oops, that one. There we go. This curve here, if you just drag this one in, it will maintain that distance there, but it's actually connecting to the other curves. So let's delete that for a second. So there we go. If we pull this in, it will actually try to maintain that curve when these are connected. There we go. Try to pull this in, it'll actually maintain that curve. So I can pull it into this geometry and still maintain my 0.125 from there. So that's how you can do that and move that shape in. So that should give us our shape. And just one thing I do want to check on that edit cross section. I do want to confirm that that was a vertical curve there. And there we go. Inside of there. Okay. Now we got that. And if you want to verify your height inside of here, you can always come in and do tools, section geometry, and we'll just put this in our center here to center point of that. There we go. And we can turn this over 90 degrees and create a section plane. So you can always just refer to this to make sure that you've got the right distance here. Just select down to this curve. That should be 0.125. So yeah, we're in the good location there. We got our 35-degree angle there. So now we can just hide this for now. Let's press it. All right, now we've got that. We can add some blends to this particular shape here. It's got a blend inside of here. So this was a 0.125. So you can do two blends. I believe they have this in here, 0.0625. I believe that would be the blend value in that one there. I think that's the right value. There we go. I think it should create a smooth blend value there for us inside of there. So that will give us our blend for that shape. And now we have to have a cut out here. So they have a cut on this thing. So again, we'll just use our catalog, drop a cut over here. And they have that cut at a value of, let's see, 0.3 width on that. So we'll just pull that down to our bottom here. And that cut from the top is 0.25 from the top of this part. So we can pull this down a little bit, edit distance from point, or I just could have just did the math in there. But anyways, that's 0.25 from there. That's our cut. And now we just need to position that. We'll use the tri-ball, snap it to the center. We just need to rotate that 45 degrees inside of there. Okay, and then this has some blends here. Now these blends are different, so I believe these blends, let me look in here. Are 0.1. So 0.1 for those. There we go. And hit enter. So now we've got that shape. And again, we're just going to do a pattern feature on this. So we'll do a pattern feature of, we can do both of these actually. So if we like to select this, we can select our axis is this, and then we can start selecting our features. So we have our feature here, our blend feature there, that we have there. We can select this pocket and that blend feature. And again, this is 4. Go ahead and create that. That should create our shape for that. So that gives us basically our overall shape. Again, it's smooth down there. That's our shape that we like to create. And if you go into the part properties, material, this is supposed to be set at 1020. Oops, 1020. And you do want to set in for this particular example, you need to set your precision to 5 because it wants the value in all out to the 5 positions, which is 0.04736. So that should give you your shape inside of there. Just a simple way to build IronCAD. Again, it's a little different than a traditional modeling with all the sketches to build this thing. I mean, we do use the shapes. We had to build a sketch here for that. We didn't have to, but that's one way to do it to keep that our arc distance there on the outside and inside. This one, we just can use an existing feature and edit the sketch to give it what we need. So anyways, nice little example, pretty simplistic part to build an IronCAD.